Chad Doerman, Ohio dad, commits unspeakable acts on his 3 late sons. We'll get into it on this episode of the Let's Talk Live podcast. Good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday. I hope you're all having an amazing weekend tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow. I thought tomorrow was the 4th of July. It's kind of one of those weird weekends here where we usually have the holiday that falls on the Monday here in the United States. But I want to welcome everybody in. It is July 2nd, 2023, and this episode's a little bit out of order. This is episode 14, and I've been meaning to do this episode for a little while. It's been backlogged. And tonight we're going to get into Chad Doerman, a Ohio dad that did the unspeakable act on his 3 late sons. And we'll take you in as the chat starts to fill in. I see you all here, some great channel members over here. I don't want to waste too much time, but we'll get right into this story and see what led us to the point that we're at right now. So let me share my screen here and we'll add this to the stream. So it says, I almost said Idaho because we've been doing Idaho so much, but Ohio father accused of K-ing his 3 sons indicted on M charges could face death penalty. Just kind of censoring some things right now so my stream doesn't get demonetized off the bat, but we'll get into this article, and we have some videos that I'd like to show everybody this evening too. So a grand jury has indicted an Ohio man accused of fatally shooting his 3 young sons on murder charges he could face the death penalty for. Chad Doerman, 32 years old, was indicted Thursday on charges of aggravated murder, kidnapping, and assault for the June 15th deaths of his sons, according to Claremont County court records. Clayton Doerman, 7, Hunter Doerman, 4, and Chase Doerman, 3, were all killed. Prosecutors say that he admitted to planning the shooting, but at an arraignment on Friday, Doerman entered a plea of not guilty. And I probably would think that is with some legal counsel that told him to plea not guilty. Quote, this was a man that every day they woke up looking to protect, love, and guidance in all things, Claremont County Chief Prosecutor and Municipal Court David Gass said at a previous hearing. Quote, I'll get this out, believe me, he was their world. He was their guardian, and he executed them in cold blood, Gass said. The sheriff's office said a 34-year-old mother who was not identified was outside the home and was shot in the hand while trying to shield her sons from their father. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy. Prosecutors say that he admitted to planning and shooting, but at a Friday arraignment, Doerman entered a plea of not guilty. You can see him there standing in court at his bond hearing. Chad Doerman, pictured at his June 16th bond hearing was indicted on murder charges of his 3 sons, and he could face the death penalty. The 3 boys were described in their obituary as full of unconditional love for each other and anyone they met. They love fishing, baseball, staying up past their bedtime, and laughing together, the obituary stated. Officials have not released a motive for the slayings, which occurred in Marone Township, about 75 miles west of Columbus. Doerman is being held without bail and is currently in Claremont County Jail. Court records did not indicate whether he was represented by a lawyer at his most recent arraignment. Claremont County Public Defender's Office declined to say whether they represented him. What an awful, unspeakable tragedy. Unspeakable. You have to stop and think, like, what goes through these people's heads to turn around and kill 3 of your young sons? These innocent children that haven't even lived a full life yet, that haven't even experienced anything. You know, what was the oldest boy was 7? A 7-year-old boy that didn't even have a chance to fulfill life. A 4-year-old, a 3-year-old. It's tragic and it's unspeakable. There's no words. There's no words. All right, let's pull up the first set of body cam footage that we saw in this. And this is from the Long Crime Network. And we will play through this.
Where's he at?
The shooter's on the porch.
Get him right here. You got him on the porch.
We've asked. That's the last place we've been told.
You show me your hands now! Stand up and
See you,
walk
Summer. How are you?
towards
Good to see
us!
Victorine in
Stand
here
up
as well.
now! Walk towards
Titanium
us!
built in the house. How are you?
Stand up
God,
with
an
your
hour from
hands
now.
up!
Terrible. Good to see you.
We got a visual in the mail. Not showing his hands, not following commands.
Stand up
Still
now!
not showing hands or following commands. His name is Chad Doerman. Chad
Hey.
Doerman.
I know, but we can't.
People need first aid, and he's not complying. You know, he's the shooter.
I apologize. I'm going to apologize now. My Wi-Fi is a little lumpy tonight. I think that just a lot of people home right now in my area, and a lot of people are either online. I noticed my Wi-Fi has been kind of deviating. I'm almost into a hard line too, and my stream is deviating too. So my video this evening might be a little choppy. So I do apologize. We'll try to get through this the best we can.
We gotta find cover first. We ain't no good if we ain't safe ourselves.
How y'all liking the white microphone? I'm kind of switched it up here. I'm really liking it.
Hey, no.
I don't know. For some reason, I've always wanted a white
We
microphone.
need to come from this side where we
It
can see
sounds
them.
better. Because I've been having a lot of issues with the last microphone I have. I think it crapped out. And that's why I decided to switch to this. But I actually dropped a new emoji for members down there. If you want to check it out, it's the tinfoil hat cat. So when we get all the conspiracies going, you can throw that tinfoil hat cat up there. And I thought that was kind of funny. We had an awesome Titanium built and Chosen Rosen, one of my mods, actually had a fantastic stream last night. If you haven't gone off and watched that, we did a Brian Koberger conspiracy theory stream, which was so much, it was so much fun to tackle these, conspiracy theories out there and just really bring some truth and light to the case, because, the last 2 weeks, there has been a lot of shit that's been put out there in the ether, and we wanted to squash some of that. So, we did that. And then tomorrow night, Laura will be back on the channel, and we're going to do a part 2 to the conspiracy theories. And we may get into a little bit of the touch DNA. Doodlebug says, I sent you an email with a pic. Yeah, I did see that. Thank you so much. I actually just wrote you back, Doodle. If you want to check your email, I hope you got it. And if you can send that second picture over, that would be great. And tomorrow night we'll pull that up on the stream. I think that was some really great information you sent over. So yeah, we're gonna keep playing through this.
We see him.
I really just want to get away from Idaho.
We're going to approach from this side. We got cover.
I need to get away from it for a minute.
Right here.
6 numbers, 29 and 63 type out.
So as I remember, what I think I remember from this body cam footage was Chad Doerman was actually outside, waiting on the front steps when the police arrived.
Yeah, I'm okay right now.
Show us your fucking hands now.
Yeah, the rifle actually.
Stand up.
long.
Stand
Yeah.
up. Stand up. Stand up now. Stand up. Stand the fuck up.
EMS to stage and air carrier is going to go ahead and fly whenever any unit's going to die.
Get your hands out of here.
72.
Cover 21.
I
Send
do
there.
apologize for the choppy video this evening.
Confirmed.
Like I said, I think there's just a lot of people streaming tonight and on at this particular time. I can see it's very choppy up there, so I do apologize. I hope that it just improves, but like I said, I just think there's a lot of people on right now, so sorry about that.
That's the shooter. He's not complying. They need to take care of the
I got it.
victims. They have to shoot him and shoot him.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober. Never did drugs a day
63,
in my
we're
life.
21. Get the EMS over here.
Well, I did drugs with a flip, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you. Gatlin,
63.
get your butt inside. Gatlin, get your butt inside.
We on primary?
Now.
29, we got 3 kids down.
3 kids down, 16 kids up.
Gatlin.
63, we're 21.
Knock
Have
it off.
EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised.
Robert 34, just started mass custody response.
63, do you want to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
We're right in the front yard. What are you doing, man?
Hey, pretty copy all this.
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt
You
nobody.
got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man.
Fucking
Phone, that's it. I ain't mad. I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him.
All right.
He won't
Thank
bite
you so
you.
much. Thanks for the
What's
support.
going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm going to
I
get
ain't
you
gonna
here
do
in a
nothing. I ain't running
second.
away. You can do whatever you want.
It's just unspeakable.
Here. You the only one else inside the house?
What?
You the only one else inside
Yeah,
the house?
yeah.
Sit down right here.
This video
My
is so
daughter,
choppy. Yeah.
she ran over to the fire
It's
department.
weird because
It's my
I'm actually direct line into my internet tonight, but it's pinging my Wi-Fi for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. God, I'm sorry about the video.
Stepdaughter?
content.
Put him in that
Quality.
cage.
Terrible.
This is real.
Very
This is
choppy. I'm sorry.
They're all being advised to like 2 additional medics. There's also air care flying, but they need an LV and medic copy. Yes.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket?
Shut up, dude.
21.
You had the right to remain silent. You fucking use it.
Yes, sir.
Let's call. I'm on the boss right now.
Oh, it's not bad on your end? Okay, that's good. Yeah, it looks choppy on my end. I apologize. Oh, actually, I think my connection's a little better now. See, it's not hitting the Wi-Fi.
Hold on.
The firehouse is advising them that the male shot the entire family.
29-37.
Seriously?
Here.
Shooter's on the boards.
Get him right here. Down on the floor.
We've asked, that's the last place we've been told.
You show me your hands now! Stand up and walk to me!
Walk towards us!
Stand up now!
Walk towards us! Stand up with your hands up!
Yeah, most of
Got
the
a visual
cases
in the
like
mail.
this are, when there's tragedies like this. Judy says, I agree that he did this to punish the mother. When I heard her screaming, you took my life, I was wishing she didn't, because he got off on hearing that. I understand why she said it, but yeah, it's definitely to get back at the mother. Something was definitely going on.
Not showing his hands, not following commands. Stand up now!
Not showing hands or following commands.
We gotta go.
His name is Chad Doerman. Chad Doerman.
Yeah, he says
These kids are in the front. We gotta go.
I know, but we
If people need first aid and he's not complying,
Yeah, that's
he's
terrible.
a shooter, shoot him.
gotta find cover first.
I'm
so
trying.
you can get
Excuse me.
safer. So.
Yeah, and then he said, I'm not drunk or on drugs or anything. Yeah, it's terrible. It's awful.
We need to come from this side where we can see. Come take cover. We see him. We're going approach from this side. We got close. Right here.
6 cover,
We gotta go.
29 and 63 to check up.
We're not working right now.
Show us your.
Show me your hands now! Stand up!
Stand up!
Yeah, I'm gonna actually be playing that next Cindy.
Move it. Hold it.
Stand up!
Stand up now!
Neighbor. I'm gonna be playing
Stand
that
up!
next.
Stand up!
Calling that out.
EMS is staged and air carriers going to go ahead and fly whenever
Rifle
any
right next
can
to him.
advise.
too.
Get your hands out here.
72.
Come 21.
It's in the air.
If you confirm that there's people that need first aid and that's the shooter, he's not complying, they need to take care
He's
of
got blood all over the back of his arm.
That's
too.
the shooter.
All right, let's play the neighbor. It was an interview with a neighbor. He talks about what he saw. All right, let's play this
For the
here.
last hour. An active scene in Claremont County. We know that 3 minors have been shot at a home along Laurel Lindale Road.
And right now we have 2 crews near that scene working to learn more information for you. Chancellor Wynn was on scene first. Now Courtney King is there joining him as well.
Now, Courtney, you talked with someone. What did they tell you?
Rob, yeah, so we're right here in front of the scene. This is Claremontville, Laurel Road, and then this Laurel Lindale Road. And we did speak with someone. We're going to bring him in right now. This is Dan Thomas. He lives here. He's lived in the neighborhood since 2016. And have you seen anything like this before?
Never. This place is always quiet. Great neighborhood. A lot of kids play in the
Yeah, it
park
looks
up
like a
there.
nice.
And
nice
never anything
neighborhood.
like this. Never.
We don't know a whole lot right now, but we do know that 3 children were shot. You said this is a neighborhood with 3 children.
That's terrible.
What is the reaction to that? Again, something.
That's horrible. That's uncalled for. I don't know what's going on in this world, but to hurt children, that's uncalled for. It's just you get that mad, walk away. I mean, come on, what's going on with this place?
Right.
You said you weren't home when it first happened, but you got home shortly after. How did you find out? What has it been like? I mean, this is right in front of your
I
home.
couldn't get in my driveway. Ambulance pulled out, so I
No,
could
no
pull in.
tinfoil hats.
And then the police officer came up, and the only thing he told
I do have the tinfoil hat down there. You can You can throw that up there if you're a member. You can
Those was that there's
membership
been an
started at
incident and children were
$1.99.
involved.
You can hit the join button down below and support the channel.
But that was all I heard. I don't know anything else. And he just wanted to know if we'd heard anything.
Yeah, the tinfoil
which
hat
we
cat.
hadn't. And my wife
If you're
was
a
home
member,
in
you
time.
can-
She's
you
in
can
the
get
house,
that.
but she didn't hear anything. So yeah, it's just sad.
There you go.
And then the
Terry's
fire
got it up.
department is
That's
right over,
great.
kind of behind us here.
Mhm.
Is this typically a safe area? Do you normally feel safe okay here?
Oh yeah, you never worry about anything in this neighborhood. It's very quiet, and everybody looks out for each other, even though we're spread apart quite a bit. Everybody still watches out for each other. So it's a great area. It's just an unfortunate situation. I don't know what happened. I haven't
the
heard
tinfoil hat cat.
much at all, but hopefully, if kids are hurt, they'll be okay.
Let me recognize this membership. My sounds are disabled, so I can't do sounds right now. But Nikki Zebes, I like that. Nikki Zebes has become a new member. We'll give you a ding-a-ling-a-ling on that. Henry Dog, thank you so much. $3.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, new members. All right, let's hear what the neighbor had to say.
Okay, hopefully, I don't know.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry this is
Yeah,
going
I
on
need a
right in
mic
front of your
emoji.
house here.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is, and hopefully everybody's okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dan, for your time. So again, we're still working to find out what happened, but we're going to send it back to you now. We're going to have an update from Chance right now, who's actually just on my left here over at near the fire station and cemetery where that media staging area is. So Chance, what have you found out so far?
Well, Courtney, I actually just heard from the Claremont County Sheriff. He does not have any new information to give us currently, but he said he has staff back at their office quickly working to put together a press release, which is going to have more details. I did ask him specifically about the status of the children, the people.
Why do all these people that go to like broadcasting school, they're always like,
yes, I don't know what's going on here. I just have to kind of see the things here that are happening right now.
they always have that weird, how are ya? C. Vanderhoof, thank you so much. $1.49 super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Why is the guy always gotta talk like this?
3 of them who were under the age of 18 who have been shot. But of course, he says he's going to get that press release together and give us more information. But I want you to I'm going to take a step out the way so you can get a better view, because we have a different vantage point than where Courtney King is located at. And from here, what I've been noticing and interesting, it's been watching this, is that we have seen this crime scene really at a standstill. I've not seen any vehicles of any type, whether it be an ambulance, a fire truck, a sheriff's deputy, an Ohio Highway State Patrolman. No one has left this scene, and it doesn't appear as anyone has come to the scene either. By listening to Courtney King's interview with that nearby neighbor, I thought one of the most common things that we were hearing in this area was he says his wife was home and did not hear any gunshots or any commotion. I spoke to neighbors who are probably about 3 to 4 blocks away from where Courtney King is, closer to us. And that neighbor said a very similar thing. They were outside this entire afternoon and did not hear any gunshots. But of course, we are going to continue to follow this scene. And as I mentioned, the sheriff for Claremont County is working to get a press release out to us with more information. As soon as we get that press release, we will let you know what.
We got a $5 super Canadian super chat from Victorine. She says, please hit that like button to support this great channel. You're also awesome. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much, Victorine. One of the OGs. Yes, Christine Brown, we are live. This is a show that's been on backlog that I've been meaning to do. Episode 14 tonight, July 2nd, 2023. 2023. Thank you, Victorine. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Super duper chat.
We are learning. Reporting live in Monroe Township, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 18 Now.
Chancellor, I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's what stuck out to me. I know you talked with someone who was outside. That person did not hear gunshot wounds, or gunshots, even though they were outside. And then Courtney talked with a man whose wife was.
Well, so why do we keep Why do you keep talking and interrupting videos? Well, because this is my show, and it's a show, and I like to talk. I can play videos and sit here and have you all stare at me, but that's not going to be fun. I like to interact with my audience. So that's what I'm doing. If you don't like it, the exit is that way, and you don't have to subscribe. You can go away. This is a live show. We do interactions here. We have fun. We hang out. We don't just sit here and stare at the camera and play a video. Okay? If you don't like it, leave. See you later. Goodbye. All right. We'll keep playing.
Inside the home. Now, that home that she was inside, is that closer to the shooting
I don't
scene?
give a shit anymore. That's the thing. I don't give a shit anymore. I was a nice guy for a long time. I ain't doing anymore. If you don't like my channel, don't fucking watch it. Okay? That's it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. The fucking exit button's that way. I'm going to start calling out all these fucking people. I'm going to start calling out all these conspiracy bullshit. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So I will do it. I will do it. If you don't like it, see you later. You can unsubscribe. It's fine. We're watching the video. We're having a live show. I'm interacting with the audience. If people send me money or they join as members, I'm going to recognize that. If you don't like it, you can watch the videos on your own. But this is a live show. That's what we do here. It's not anything out of the fucking normal than any of these other shows. Go watch T-Rev right now. He's probably got videos playing and he's probably talking over it and talking to his audience. It's what we do. We perform. We're performers. If you ever watched a streamer before play a game, they fucking talk through the whole game. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe live streaming is not for you to watch. I don't know. Thank you. Appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Everybody tonight, all the love. I love it. I think I missed a couple of super chats here. Victorine says, please support the Treat channel. I actually got that one. Everybody's clapping. Everybody loves the muscle. Exactly. OCD says, leave. Bye, Felicia. See you later. Jeez, everybody's done. Summer. Damn. I'm done. I'm fucking done holding back with people. I'm so done with it. All right.
I think Courtney's neighbor is actually a little bit closer to where this scene is than my neighbor was. I do want to step out because I want you to take a look at one more quick thing that I'm just thinking about right now. We've been trying to figure out where this crime scene really focuses on. And the neighbor I spoke to mentioned there's a family who lives very close to this crime scene, but it does not appear, when we zoom in on the crime scene tape, it doesn't appear to be going to the home right there in that area. It's really focused on this corner where you see all those ambulances in front of that auto body shop.
Yeah, one of the most successful channels on YouTube, T-Rev. He does his own thing, man. You know, I gotta give him a lot of credit lately. You know, he's calling out a lot of this conspiracy shit. I wasn't gonna go into Idaho, but I admire everything that he's been doing lately over on that channel. I've been calling him out. Titanium Built, another one. Her content's great. She's calling out all these, you know, this conspiracy shit. We had an awesome stream last night. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out. You know, we're done with this shit. We're done with all the conspiracy. You know, look at the facts in these cases. Look at I mean, I did a poll last night. Almost 35% of the people don't even read the legal documents in the Idaho case and just make assumptions, or they just listen to all this conspiracy shit that's whipped up. The reason that people do this is because they have nothing better to do and they want everybody to click on their videos. I could sit here and do conspiracy theory videos and probably have 1 million clicks on my channel, but I believe in truth and justice. And I have to say this, and I've been talking about this, and I think Tanya over on Titanium Built agrees as well. I cannot say something that is not true and lay my head down on my bed at night and feel good about that. But if you want to start doing that shit to get clicks and views and spin things on all these cases that we cover, especially Idaho, go ahead. It's just going to make you look like an asshole in the end. Guarantee it. You know, and as everybody gets on me, they always go, you always say that Brian Koberger's guilty. You always say that Brian Koberger's guilty. He hasn't even gone to fucking court yet. Here's the thing. I have always said, if you listen and actually listen all the way through and watch my streams, I say that Brian Kohberger right now is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. He has that due process. He is going to go through the trial if we get to a trial. Okay, I've always said that. And if Brian Kohberger is not guilty, then we still have a lot of work to do in this case to figure out who did this. I've always said that. But everybody watches like 5 minutes of my video and they go, you're always like saying Brian Kohberger guilty. My opinion on my channel is the evidence is strong against Brian Kohberger. That's all I've ever said. I didn't say he was guilty. I didn't say he was innocent. So clear all that up. Clear all that up. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm just going to start calling all these fucking people out. All right. Enough of Idaho. Let's pay attention to this case tonight.
Not guilty. Chad Doerman faced a judge this morning on 21 charges tied to the killings of his 3 boys, ages 3, 4, and 7. Now in court, the judge asked Doerman if he understood all the charges against him, and he calmly answered, yes, Your Honor. Also during the hearing, prosecutors revealed disturbing new details as to how the shootings unfolded, saying this: the middle-aged son was shot twice inside the family home before the oldest boy was shot from behind outside the home while trying.
Yeah, Sally's asking, have I covered Delphi? I'll be honest with you, I haven't really delved too much into that. It's so far into a point now where, I mean, you know, where we are, there's been a confession or supposedly a confession. So, I mean, I don't know really much about the case. I think I dabbled in it a little bit. I kind of got off it. Because Idaho's really just consumed a lot of us, you know. And Tanya and I last night from Titanium was like, dude, I need a break from this shit. It's just crazy, you know. It's crazy right now, and all the stuff that's just being put out there. And you know, like, we just need a break. We need to do other things. Every single time I try to like go into another stream or do another topic that should be just as important. You know, this case is just as important as Idaho. This is terrible. It's awful. Now, I know it doesn't have all the you know, what we call the sexy angles to it and this drama and the story. But these are important cases, and we need to start covering this stuff. There are other cases out there that need to be heard. And I have to give, actually, my moderator, Laura, dropped an amazing video the other day of just a bunch of unsolved cases that are out there right now. And that's stuff that I want to start looking into, that just, you know, some really recent stuff that is not getting attention, you know. And that's what we should be using this platform for, you know, opening up to other cases that aren't getting attention, you know. Laura Connor in the house says, hey, what's up? How are you, Laura? I hope things are going well at I think you just went through the World Series of Poker. I was creeping on your Instagram page today, actually. And I don't know, how did you do if that happened already? But, you know, Idaho's just getting all spun out. I mean, if you look at everybody's single stream right now, it's Idaho, you know, and I can see it. My views are going down on that, you know, and there's other stuff that needs to be covered. You know, I'm not going to do Idaho all the time. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. I'll stop talking. Stop talking.
To run away. He was then shot 2 more times. Prosecutors also claim Doerman ripped the youngest child from his mother's arms and shot him in the head. The Claremont County prosecutor said his goal is to have Doerman executed.
First and foremost, I want to start out by expressing the deepest sympathy I have for this family, for this unspeakable tragedy. We do have, I can't go into a whole lot of facts, all right, because this is a death penalty case, and my goal is to have this man executed for slaughtering these 3 little boys. It is, let me try to figure out a way to put this.
Exactly.
It is an incomprehensible act of horror if you perpetrate it on this family. So again, that is my most important focus right now, is to ensure that they're protected and they're safe. And my hope and wish and prayer is that someday we will be able to find peace. But factually, I've said what I said on the record, and I'm going to stick with that. All right.
Why was it, with how complicated the death penalty is in Ohio right now, and how much extra work it adds to your office? Why was it important for you to seek this?
I'll let the facts speak for themselves. He slaughtered.
Hey, I lost a subscriber. I wonder who that
in
was.
the most brutal fashion you could imagine, as I mentioned in court. The extra work is no extra work at all. It's what we do. This merits our attention, our devotion, and our effort.
Thoughts on that initial not guilty plea?
That has to be done.
Now, the 32-year-old was initially charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, but a grand jury returned a 21-count indictment, including 9 counts of aggravated murder, 8 counts of kidnapping, and 4 counts of felonious assault.
I'm actually going to probably cover some local stuff that's been happening in my area lately. I'm not going to give away, but I think there's just a hilarious thing that just got caught with, actually, I'll just let you guys all know. There's been a hilarious case in my area, the senator that was literally caught keying someone's car. I want to cover that. There's body cam footage of that. So we'll get into that a little bit. And there's just some other things going on, some really crazy shit in and around my area that I wanted to get into. And I'm so happy that the 3 victims of the shooting in Newton, Massachusetts, they actually have a suspect. They've caught a suspect. They were the elderly couple that was on their way to church to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. And one of their friends was there as well. She was 97 years old, and this scumbag broke in and murdered all 3 of them on that Sunday morning. So I'm so glad that they did find the person that's responsible for that. And they are arrested right now. And I do want to start, I do want to touch on that as well, because I don't feel like that got enough media attention as well. And it's just really sad. You know, these people were on their way to church to celebrate their anniversary. The church had put together a big event for them, and they didn't show up. And then someone went to do a wellness check on them and found them deceased. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. But great detective work of those detectives. They caught the individual within the first 48 hours. And, you know, I really, that's something that I want to touch on as well, too. It's just awful stuff. A lot of awful shit going on lately.
Each murder count, carries the death penalty, and a pretrial hearing has been set for July 5th. We have also learned that the funeral for the boys will be held on Monday. And when police arrived on the shooting scene, Doerman was very calm, and you can hear the boy's mother in the background. This is Officer Body Cam, and this is footage of his arrest.
Where's he at?
Jeez, man.
Get him right here. You got him on the porch.
There's just no rationalization in people anymore. And and we talked about this last night on our stream. You know, me, Chosen Rosen, and Titanium Bill. You know, we talked about this, and you know, we think that the pandemic, or the scandemic, what I like to call it, you know, really put people in a very weird place. And just, you know, it's this like huge selfishness thing. And, you know, with that complete isolation for almost a year and a half till we could really fully go back out. I know they dragged it on for 3 years, but, you know, people really changed in that year and a half. You know, we're human beings. We're supposed to be interacting. That's the way that our brains work. We're supposed to be, you know, to be around people and feel the vibration around you of other people. You know, our bodies are designed like that. And then when you cut that off and you're just throwing people in a house for 3 months or behind a computer screen, you know, everything now is, and it's weird, you know, I'm talking about this and it's weird because I'm talking to you all through a computer screen, but it really took an effect on people, and it changed people a lot. You know, people just have this lack of emotion now with people, this lack of like human connection. And it's very, very strange. It's eerily strange. And I just notice even little things too. Like if I go out to like my local outlet mall and I walk around and someone's like walking towards you, they will not fucking move. They'll walk right into you. They're going to stand their ground and just walk fucking right into you if you don't move. And it's so weird. Even if you have like, even if you're ahead of them before they even get there, they ain't fucking moving. People ain't going to hold the door for you anymore. People aren't going to say thank you. People are going to push you right out of the way. It's just very strange the way that the human condition has changed. And it's scary. It's frightening. It's really, really frightening. You know, we've lost those basic values of humanity. And I don't know. It's almost sad. It makes me sad. You know, it makes me really sad sometimes. You know, you just look at like this case. You know, this guy scrubs out three of his sons. You know, what the lasting profound effect on other people's lives. You know, this guy will probably go to prison for the rest of his life, but there's other people around in his circle that are going to be affected by this for the rest of their life. You know, there's no regard for that. It's total human disregard. You know, and that's what I sit here and I think about like Idaho all the time too. And I know that I'm kind of bringing that back around, but you know, I keep saying that, you know, these 4 kids are dead, but all the people that were touched by them, and when you look at, you know, an individual, there's so many people that branch out to that. You know, there's so many people that have come in contact with that person through different people or just directly. And all those people are affected. I mean, you could take, you know, Kaylee, we'll just say Kaylee, right? There's probably 500 people that are just so close to her that are affected by that. And then that spills out from those people and so on and so on. And that's how we get to this point. You know, that's how I've gotten here. And I've talked about that case because in some fashion, it's gotten to me through someone else or through a media source or whatever. It's just, that's why I always say, you know, get up and just be the best person you can. You know, when your 2 feet hit the floor in the morning, wake up and be the best person that you can be around, you know, towards other people. And listen, we all have our days and I am not perfect. Believe me, I'm a son of a bitch. Believe me, I'm a son of a bitch, but I try to get up and do, you know, the greater good, I guess they say. That's one thing I've always done is thought of others before myself. And I know people say, you need to change that. You do that way too much. You think of everybody first. It's just the way I am, you know? It's crazy. We live in a crazy world.
You show me your hands now! Stand up and walk towards us! Stand up now! Walk towards us! Stand up with your hands up!
I'm going to speed past this because we've seen this already. Back to here.
The wailing of the mother in the background
As
is
they
just
should.
haunting. And his reaction, he just seems like it's a regular day in the park. They're picking him up for, I don't know, littering. Mind-boggling. Still with me. Criminal defense attorneys, former prosecutors, Marie Pereira, Franz Borghardt. Marie, I'll start with you. Let's start with the video. We'll get to the decision to seek the death penalty. But what did you make of that video? I mean, I thought maybe there might be a sense, and Franz and I were talking, it might be a suicide by cop situation. He wasn't following orders, but he had every opportunity as they approached. The gun was sitting right next to him.
I mean, I have my own issues too. You know, I have my own issues too. I am deathly afraid of people. I am deathly afraid of people. You know, I have like a job. I have a job that I work with the public, but that's my job and I can get by that. But because the world has just changed so much, And people, I always just feel like people have their own agenda now, whatever it is to get ahead of someone, whatever it is to squash someone and step over someone. And it's sad that we've all gotten like that. But what happens is we've put all these computer screens in front of everybody. This thing, I always say this is the most dangerous, wonderful thing that has ever been put into our hand. The plethora of information that you can get at a touch of a finger is unworldly. But this has warped and changed a lot of people's minds. And, even just throwing a computer screen in front of everybody, we don't interact anymore. I always say that. When I go out, I always try to talk to people, and I always try to take away at least three things that I've learned from a conversation. And then I always laugh because I always say, see, we talked and you probably didn't even think we had anything in common, but we all have a lot more in common than people think. If you just stop and actually talk to someone and put all your biases aside, all those things that may prevent you from talking to someone. And believe me, we all have it. We all have it. We're not all perfect. But put those things aside and open yourself up. Maybe you teach someone in that moment something that they didn't know, or maybe you learn something in that moment you didn't know. We got to get back to that. Just basic values and basic skills. Use this thing up here that was put in our head. I'm not a huge religious person. If anything, I'm not a religious person at all. I'm very spiritual. I think we're all on our own journey through this. We're on this fucking spinning globe, spinning through space, and it's like, I would have never thought 20 years ago I would be sitting here in this very moment talking to the 39 people that are in the room. It's just weird. It's very weird. And then just looking in the chat and getting to see all the familiar screen names that are up there. It's weird. I don't know you as people, but I see your screen name and it's like, you're my friends, you're my family. We spend this time together. But it's I don't know. It's very sad what's happening. And a lot of people can say politics. A lot of people can say, maybe it's the lack of values that everybody has. I mean, I can't really put my finger on it, but I think there's a lot of things that contribute to it. The programming we watch, the games that we play, the relationships that we're in, the beat of society. This thing of always trying to get ahead of everybody else. Basically all that shit doesn't matter. Cars and fucking jewelry and money, that shit doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What matters is just being a good fucking person. Can we get back to doing that? Can we get back to doing that? I always ask that. Can we get back to doing that? And believe me, I ain't going to solve all the problems in the world. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. But, these cases and these streams take a big toll on us creators, believe me. I've talked to Tanya about it, Titanium Built. I've talked to her about it. It gets stressful sometimes. It really does. Because we don't just click the off button and, go to bed. I mean, this stuff really stays with us. And I'm sure that all the, watching all this material probably takes a lot on people too. And I think that's where people formulate, they might hear something that's not true and then they run with it. And it's like, I always say, especially with like Idaho, read those legal documents. It's important because this will help you. So let me get to this $10 super chat. So Lakota says, kindness is contagious. It only takes a moment to make someone's day. Thank you for all you do. Well, no, thank you for you being here and sharing this moment with all of us, the 40 or so people that are here tonight. If we can celebrate and have more moments like this, the world would be a better place, right? I don't know. I ain't got the answers. But I want to know some answers. I want to know some answers, especially, with the Idaho case. I always say this, 1122 will always be in my head forever. 1122, 1122. Strange. It'll always be there. Have a good night, Victorine. Thank you. All right, let's keep playing.
If he didn't want to be alive, he certainly could have orchestrated that situation into his suicide by cop situation.
I really want to believe that this man is mentally ill for committing this filicide. It's so sad. We educate our children against stranger danger, not against their father executing them. And for me, it seems like this was all about spousal revenge. He's not acutely ill. There's no psychosis, at least so far we don't see it. He's calm. He's telling them.
Yeah, and believe me, my channel's getting ripped apart right now in the way that I've gone. And that's the funny thing. I haven't changed my way that I've felt about that case. Someone today was saying in my comments, "Oh, I used to love this channel. You were so different." I'm like, nothing has changed. I've been very transparent since the beginning of covering this case. I think what it is that those people get on and watch a lot of this freak content, what I call it, and then they come to someone that's being rational and looking at things in a rational way, and it doesn't line up with their views. And that's fine. Maybe my channel's not for you, but I'm not going to change on the stance of how I feel until something changes my direction based on evidence. If they say that Brian Koberger bought a ticket and was in fucking Thailand sipping on, I don't know, what do you drink there? Mai Tais, then, and they have photos of him on the beach, then my opinion will change. But, it's where I am right now. All right, let's keep playing this.
About the dog, I'm not going to hurt you. I can't wrap my head around his calm attitude, his demeanor. And this, to me, like I said, seems like spousal revenge against his wife. You hear her saying, "He took my whole life from me," in the screaming.
Yeah, and he shot just the boys, Franz. There is a girl, a stepdaughter. I guess the boys are his progeny, his children. He only shot them. He ended up shooting the mother only because she was trying to protect her child. So that's odd. But they've made the decision clearly to choose a death penalty. Not a surprise.
I would say not a surprise at all. You have all the right ingredients, all the right aggravating circumstances, the multiple victims, the nature of the killing. You have all of that, which you need to get to a death penalty, right? Determining whether or not to pursue the death penalty or not as a prosecutor is oftentimes a difficult thing, except in cases like this. In cases like this, it seems very straightforward and very easy. Everything else, all the other charges, that's garnish, right? What we care about, the papaya of the situation is, what we want to sink our teeth into is the capital case. That's going to be possibly a death penalty. Everything else is just kind of lagniappe, extra.
Yeah, and saying it, I think, just gives the public some sense of, we're taking this seriously, moving forward with this thing. It's just important just to say the words. But Marie, practically, as a former prosecutor, what does it mean when you do make that decision? Does it change your approach to a case? How does it change the way you go about your business as a prosecutor?
I don't think it changes the way, but you do have to focus on the aggravating factors. And they're all here. This is heinous. He was in a position of trust. Those kids, that was their whole daddy. They were vulnerable. They were helpless. It was unprovoked. All the aggravating factors are there. So you're going to want to methodically go through all of them, because at the end of the day, you have to get 8 people at the end to agree with your point of view when it comes to sentencing. So you approach it that way, proving every aggravating circumstance and down talking any mitigators through testimony that you intend to present for your case.
In France, for the defense, it all becomes all about keeping your client alive.
I absolutely agree. This is not a whodunit. This is not a guilt case. This will be already some indigent defender is representing this guy or entity, and they are working on mitigation as we speak. I'm telling you that's happening behind the scenes right now, and it's all about rescue diving, saving this guy, saving his life, and this one's going to be a tough one.
All right. Let's finish this up with a little Banfield, everybody's favorite. And let's see what she had to say on this.
An incomprehensible act of horror, an unspeakable tragedy. My goal is to have this man executed. These are the words of the prosecutors regarding an Ohio man who allegedly lined up his 3 little beautiful baby boys and executed them with a rifle in his front yard.
It's awful.
Chad Doerman was in court. He confessed to all of this. And then when he was in court for his arraignment today, he cried and then proceeded to plead not guilty. And I want to give you a big warning right now, because I'm about to unload the details of what the prosecutor said he did in executing those boys. So if you are sensitive about kids and if you are sensitive about violence, this is your very robust warning.
Exactly.
Because it is really hard to hear this. The prosecutors say that Chad Doerman started inside the home by shooting his 4-year-old little boy named Hunter. And then, as the 7-year-old ran for his life, little
Brenda,
Clayton,
I appreciate you.
Doerman walked outside and shot the boy in the back as he was running. And when the boy fell injured, Doerman went up to him and dragged him back to the area where he planned the execution to continue. And he shot that little boy, Clayton, 2 more times in the head, killing him. And then, if that weren't enough, he ripped the 3-year-old little boy named Chase out of the arms of his mother. And then he shot that little boy too, killing him. Prosecution said, my goal is to have this man executed.
Yep,
I will do the
as he should.
utmost that he never sees the light of day again. Our News Nation correspondent Alex Capriello spoke to the family of.
So Dr. Bob says, my wife and I had a very serious discussion today on whether we should get a gun. Never thought I would do that. Well, Dr. Bob, that is your right in this country to own a gun. What I would do is make sure that you go through if you decide to purchase a firearm, make sure that you go through all of the safety courses, get proper instruction, and know how to use that weapon. I would also make sure that your wife goes through that training as well, and make sure that you have a proper gun safe, so it is safe and secure in your home when it's not being obviously used. Shouldn't you're a smart guy. I don't have to tell you, but that is your Second Amendment right to do that. And just make sure that you do it with safety. I have a lot of friends that own firearms. They're very safe with theirs. I have a few friends that have their license to carry. One that I think of that comes to mind right away. And it was really cool. I was with him a couple of months ago. We were going somewhere and he carries all the time. And, even though he's my friend and I trust him ultimately to the nth degree, we were in my car and I was driving and his pistol was in his holster pointing this way towards me. And he said, hey, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to remove my firearm and unchamber it so it's not pointing at you. But that's such a great, responsible gun owner to just let me know what he's doing, because he's in my vehicle. He's going to be pulling a weapon out. And he wanted to let me know what he was doing, just so the clip was removed and it was unchambered, because it was pointing towards me. And, even though I've known him for almost my whole life, he still, let me know what he was doing. So it didn't make me nervous. He was, it's just, it's very responsible gun owner. And I trust him ultimately. And I said, hey, man, I appreciate that. I would never even think that he would have even did that. But that's an extremely responsible gun owner. Because you don't know, you don't know what someone's going through or having when they have a weapon or whatever. And I just thought that was just, very responsible. So, yeah, I think if you think about it, I wouldn't make any, rash decisions. I myself, this year will be seeking my gun license soon. I will own a firearm at some point because it's my right. And, talk it over, continue to talk it over with your wife, and then you'll come to that decision if you want to do it. And if you need a place to go to get your certification, your license, I can point you in an excellent place. Just email me, reach out to me, and I'll get you all the information. They have some really great instructors there that can take you through and do it the right way. So that's my speech. But we'll finish this up with Banfield, another couple of minutes here, and then I'm going to wrap the stream up, and I'll be back tomorrow night for Idaho. Tomorrow night, I just dropped the link there for the stream. So if you want to send that over and hit your reminder, you can. Laura will be back on the channel tonight with me. We're going to talk, all things Idaho. We may get into some of the DNA evidence, the touch DNA, because that's been the big controversy. We talked a little bit about it last night on last night's stream, but we'll get a little bit more into it tomorrow. So let's finish this out here. And
those three little boys, the
we'll
family that is still surviving after all of this.
Yeah.
And we spoke a little bit earlier.
Owning a gun is a very, it's a big decision in someone's life, and it should be, if you're, in my opinion, if you're in a relationship, you're married, you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and you decide to want to own a firearm in the house, I would say this is that make it a collective decision together, because that's your spouse. And I would say both get that safety training. So you know how to handle a firearm and how to store a firearm to make sure that it's ultimately always safe. And guns do not kill. It's the person that's behind them. So I don't know how we get into this being a gun stream, but well, I guess it kind of goes along.
Just how horrifying this crime was.
That's right, Ashley. I spoke to the boy's aunt, Rachel Brown. She says that she spent the last week comforting her sister, Laura. At this point, the family is in a very deep state of grief as they try to comprehend this massive loss. She tells me that Laura is recovering well from that gunshot wound to the hand, but at the very same time, she feels like her sister will never be the same after this unthinkable tragedy. Rachel asked me to share these pictures of the boys, who she said were happy, funny, goofy, kind, loving children. She also wanted to draw attention to the GoFundMe that's been set up, which has already raised $250,000 for the family. A grand jury convened this week and officially charged 32-year-old Chad Doerman with aggravated murder, kidnapping, and felony assault. Police also released this new body cam, which picks up where the last one was cut off. Originally, we saw Doerman calmly sitting on his front stoop next to his rifle when he was thrown to the ground and cuffed. With this new deputy's video, you can hear the anger in the voices of the first responders who showed up on scene and saw the bloody aftermath. Take a listen.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket? Shut up, dude. Yeah, the right to the main side was
We also received these new 911 calls from eyewitnesses who tried frantically to get law enforcement to the scene.
There's a girl running down the street, seeing like her stepfather is killing everyone in her family. What did the female say to you? And she says that her stepfather is killing everybody in her house.
Can you tell how many people have been shot?
I think 2 children.
Okay. All right, I need what was
I've seen.
All right, we've got help on the way. If you could just try to stay inside so that you're safe.
Ashley, a vigil will be held this Sunday at the local baseball fields where the 3 boys played their Little League games. We're told it's both to honor their lives as well as pay respects to the law enforcement who bravely rushed to the scene.
Alex was also able to knock on some doors in that community to find out a little bit more about Chad Doerman, and this is what Alex told us.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. I actually learned a lot from speaking to many of these neighbors. The one thing I heard the most often was that it really seemed that Chad had a bit of a temper. In fact, one neighbor across the street tells me that Chad once went across the road and threatened to slit his dog's throat. That exact same neighbor, an eyewitness to this tragedy, he says he wishes he could have done more.
The man had no emotions. And I will say he didn't snap. This was premeditated murder. When they arrested him, everybody can see on national television anywhere. He has no remorse.
Yeah.
And in that courtroom, that was the fakest cry I've ever seen in my life. So I don't believe none of that.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. Appreciate
we've seen this memorial here on the front yard really grow. People stopping by to pray, to drop off stuffed animals, flowers, candles, and sports equipment.
Member.
It's very clear to me over these past
Patrick, if you go on my landing page and go down there, I've actually been doing once a week, and all my channel members too. I gotta let you all know this. Once a week, I am doing just kind of a members only video for all of you. Just gives you some preview to upcoming content and just a little bit of life of what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, you can find that on my landing page. I'll show that before I head out here. I almost sounded Canadian there for a second. Before I head out here, Ute and Butte, my Canadian friends. Yeah, you can find that on my landing page. If you go all the way down to the bottom of my page, all my members only content is down there, and you can go through and look at all my weekly updates and my previous members only live streams. So that's all content for members only. If you want to join the members only, you can. It's only $1.99. You go down there, hit the join button, and it supports the channel on a monthly basis. So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, cats. And if you haven't seen that, I added a tinfoil hat cat emoji. But anyway, I want to wrap this one up. I know a little bit off topic this evening, a little jumping around, but I hope we got some sound advice in this stream. Again, I'm not going to hold back anymore. I can't do it anymore. If you're going to come at me, I'm going to give it right back to you. I'm just done. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. Listen, it's my channel, my platform. If this is not the stream for you, you can always unsubscribe. But I want to thank everybody this evening for hanging out. We're getting there. We're getting close to 10,000. We're going to get there. Maybe in the next 6 months, I'll be there. My momentum slowed down. I don't know. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate you. Yeah, go over and check out the members only content. I drop a lot, like once a week, trying to make a commitment to doing that. Tomorrow night's stream is right there. You all can go in there, hit your reminders button. I'll be back over live doing Idaho. We'll figure something out. I appreciate you all being here. Go over. I think maybe there's a whole bunch of Idaho streams going on right now. I think T-Rev streaming. Go jump over and support his channel. I'm sure Titanium Built will have something going on tomorrow afternoon. If you see her streaming, jump up, go on there. I'll be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is episode 14 in the books. Finally, I may do a day stream tomorrow. I have an interrogation that I've been dying to get into, and because it is just it's a good one, and I want to do that. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. All the super chats, all my new members that joined this evening, and all of you, the 40 or so that came to hang out this evening. If you don't make the stream tomorrow night, hopefully everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. Be safe. Don't blow any firecrackers off in your hand, or you're going to be coming back looking like this with a nub. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate you all. Let me hit the outro. See you next time. Bye.